and welcome back. Today we are making salt dough. Salt dough is very similar to Play-Doh, but it's a little bit different. Here is something that I made with salt dough. This is a little cat figure that I made. It looks like my cat. All I did was paint it with a little bit of acrylic paint, and you can tell on the bottom that's what the clay looks like after it's been hardened. Now this clay you can air dry or put it in the oven. I think it works best when you put it in the oven because it gets nice and hard. So let's get started. All you need is a bowl, a spoon, half a cup of salt, a cup of flour, and half a cup of water. The half a cup of water we might not use all of, but it's good to have it here. I used warm water. You could use cold water. It's totally up to you. We also might add a tiny bit of vegetable oil. First thing, let's put it all in the bowl. Now I like to mix up the dry ingredients a little bit first just to make sure they're all mixed up. Alright, that looks pretty good. So now I like to make a little bit of a well in the middle of my dry ingredients to put some water. Just a little bit at a time. I'm not using all of it. Just a little bit. And you want to keep adding water until it's no longer clumpy like that. So at this point it's sticking to my spoon a lot, so I'm actually going to use my hands. So now it's more the consistency of a dough, but it's sticking to my hands a lot, so I'm going to add a little bit of oil. You can use any kind of oil you have in your kitchen. I'm using canola oil. Vegetable oil would work great. Olive oil would work great. Just a tiny bit. You don't need a ton. And I'm going to mix that in. Now you're going to want to find a spot on your counter where you can lay out some flour and knead your dough a little bit. I got out some flour, maybe flour my hands a little bit so it doesn't stick so much. Now I'm going to get the dough out. It's going to be very soft, but you want to knead it to thicken it up a little bit. And there we have a nice ball of dough. One thing you can do with this salt dough is roll it out like a sugar cookie dough. So right now I just have flour on my counter, and I have about half of my dough. I didn't use all of it, and I don't have a rolling pin, so I'm going to use this coffee cup. I'm going to put some flour on it. Put some flour on there, and I'm just going to try and roll this out so I can cut some cookie dough shapes out. And the dough is really soft, so you don't have to press very hard at all. This is a great technique to use if you want to make Christmas ornaments or maybe a pendant for a necklace. The only cookie cutters I have are Halloween themed ones, so I think today we're going to make some pumpkins and some cats. Maybe I'll turn the cat into a Christmas ornament for my Christmas tree. Well, I guess we have one pumpkin. But the good thing is we can always use this dough. We can just roll the bag up. Works like a charm. Maybe I want to make a different kind of cat. You can sculpt with this clay too. Alright, so now we have our finished creations. We have a sculpted piece, a cookie cutter piece with pieces added on top, and a cookie cutter piece with pieces cut out. So now I am going to put them in the oven. You could let these air dry if you wanted to, but I like to put them in the oven. Goes a little faster. And then I'm going to set the oven to warm, which ends up being about 170 degrees. And I'm going to check them every 10 to 15 minutes to see if they are done. You'll know they're totally done when they are completely hard. So let me know how your projects turn out. Next time I will make a video on how to paint them. See you later.